What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week to chit-chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. Today is September 19th, 2023, and this is episode 69. We're getting there, people. I'm coming to you from a glorious Pacific Northwest, where fall has finally arrived. Yes, people, fall is finally here. I was sitting in my living room the other night. The windows are still open because I leave my windows open way later than I should because I like the fresh air. Anyhow, the breeze comes in and it feels like fall. It is chilly. It is cool. It is refreshing. It is wonderful. I love spooky season. Well, spooky season is year-round, but I love fall. And fall is finally here, and I am so here for it. So here for it. Today, I have some knitting for you. I have some stitching for you, and I have some sewing for you. Technically it's sewing. It's crappy sewing, but it is in fact sewing. Just don't look too close, please. I beg you. Living in my spooky sampler? Scary sampler mug is some tea that I'm having today, which is a red velvet pura. It's quite tasty. It's from Plum Deluxe, and I'm quite enjoying it. And there is an eagle somewhere in the neighborhood, and it keeps screaming. You're hearing caw. Well, not caw, because that's more of a crow, but you know the sound an eagle makes. Yeah, it lasts like 20 minutes. Maybe it's the one that's been killing something in my tree. I don't know, eagles usually do more of anyway. That'll come in life, if we get there and I remember. Shall we get to some finishes? Because I have two. Technically three. I have three finishes. Yes. Yes, people. I have finishes and they make me happy. First off, I'm going to show you some sewing finishes. Last time, I believe, I commented that Stephanie, is that her name? From Lindy Stitches? Had done a little tutorial, not tutorial, but a little, hey, I can make the sewing thing that Tiger Lily Designs has a pattern out for. So she did, and she was like, oh my god, this was awful. I tried one. And I screwed up the binding that's around the outside. I sewed it on from the wrong side, so it looks like crap. I need to rip it out and fix it, but now my sewing machine, I'm having issues with the bobbin, and so I haven't yet. So be kind to me. Oh, and me and sewing Velcro on my machine, and I hated that. So I made a Tiger Lily's Design project folder, and I did the whole 9 yards. I did the pocket, I did the bobbins, and yes, bobbins fit in them. Bobbins do fit. The pocket and the zipper, which works. Yes, I did one. This took me 2 days because sewing is not a thing I'm good at. So this took me 2 days, and I need to rip off the binding here because I sewed it from the wrong side, and it looks like poo. And when I say it looks like poo, I mean it looks like poo. It is poo. But it's functional. It will work. It will hold stitching. It'll hold stitching here. And it'll hold stitching here. It'll hold bobbins. It will function. But it looks like poo. It is very pootastic. And not in the Winnie the Pooh type poo. No, just poo. And so, yeah, I need to rip off this and re-sew it again better once I figure out what's going on with my sewing machine, which hates me right now. And I currently hate it. So the feeling is mutual, and we have decided to part ways for a little while. Then, after working on that, I decided to make another one. I haven't trimmed off all my ends on this one. So there's still some threads because I finished this one yesterday. This one took me just a couple of hours. I know. Stephanie, I think it's Stephanie. Lindy Stitches Lady was right. That second one goes faster. And so it went much faster, but it was when I was sewing on my binding here that my machine and I started having issues with the bobbin, and so I actually need to redo most of this one as well, but it looks a lot better. It looks not great, but it looks a lot better. See, you can see right back here. This is where I was having issues with the bobbin. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But I did a thing, and yes, it is pumpkin spice bullshit, but I don't care. I had an easier time with this Velcro. I got different Velcro, so it worked. And I did a lot worse of a job on the bobbin side than on my first one. I don't know what I did wrong, but like, you can't use any of these. They're all way too small. And then like 3 of these are the wrong size, so you can't use those. So I really only have the center column, or the 3 center columns that work at all for the bobbins. But oops. There were, I don't know what I did, but I think I measured from the wrong side for doing the 2 inches, because this over here is, like, look at that. Look at that. You can't use that for a bobbin. So I have half the amount of bobbins. These are the wrong size. It's like somewhere this measurement and this measurement needed to be combined. I did it wrong. Something went wrong. But again, I have a pocket. Again, I have a pocket. I played with vinyl. I did the things. It's ugly. It is horrifically ugly. But I did it. And they will be functional. At least, I hope they'll be somewhat functional, unless they fall apart. Which, considering my sewing skills, could definitely happen. But I have two folders, thingies. And this one has birds all over it. And this one has pumpkin-y, fall-y stuff. Because we have, like, pumpkin lover, which is because this to me is not a pumpkin latte. This is like pumpkin hot chocolate or something. I don't know. This says pumpkin spice over here. Which one is it? This one. But evidently you can have a pumpkin spice chai tea. So that's now tea for me. And then you have all sorts of other pumpkin-y things. And fall is here. So I am here for fall. And yeah. They're ugly, but I think they might be functional. And this is not anything to say against Tiger Lily's instructions and all of that. No. This is all on me, because I don't know how to use my sewing machine. I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm intimidated by it, and I screwed up a lot. But even if you're intimidated by your sewing machine and it scares the crap out of you and you don't know what you're doing and you've never been able to sew a straight seam, okay, maybe a little bit of that'll be a problem. And you don't know how to do anything, you can actually make them. So I think this is a lot for Tiger Lily Designs pattern instruction thing, because I functionally made them. They functionally work. If I ever do one again, I'm just going to do pockets, because I don't know what I did over here. I really don't know what. I don't know. There were problems over here. There were so many problems. But and this is the most ridiculous. I don't know where I got this fabric here. It is ridiculous and totally not me. But I thought it was pumpkin-y and cute, so it went in the pumpkin-y bag with the fall leaves and the pumpkin, everything pumpkin. And I didn't line that up very well, did I? Nope. Nope. Didn't line that up very well. But you know what? That's okay. It shuts. It does. It functions. They both will function. Also, I do not understand how to close the ends of the bias tape thing. Like, she just did this, and then it attached, and she could just sew it around, so I just kind of half-assed it. And it sort of worked. But I haven't, it'll be all frayy and gross, and it won't last nicely for long, but I half-assed it. It didn't work. Well, the half-assing worked, but it didn't do what she did. I don't know how she did it. I don't know what she did. It was magic. So there, I have two binders, and I will use them, and they were neat, but yeah, all mistakes are on me. And the second one definitely did go faster, and I have a million ends to still clip off. Like, I have all these little but the sewing of the quilt binding here went a lot better when you do it from the correct side than it did on this side, where I went on the wrong side and it's ugly. And if I can figure out what I did to my sewing machine to make it hate me, feelings mutual again, whatever I did to make it hate me, I will rip this binding off and sew it back down correctly from the correct side, and hopefully it will look less like garbage. And yeah. That was, yeah. Oh, one of the mistakes I made on this one. See, this side, this one I did all right. These ones all work. I mean, it's crappy right there, but like, you can use all of these. These all work. So I don't know what I did on this one, but I used a fabric with a teeny tiny little design when I made that bias tape, and you can't see it on most of them. Like, only the top one has any of them, and most of them just look white. So I spent tons of time and effort making the bias tape, and I could have just bought white bias tape. So yeah, scale of fabric evidently matters, which is why on this one I used the leaves, but then I screwed up the measurement. Sewing, people, it is very much unlike knitting, where if you make a mistake, you just rip it out and you can reuse the stuff again. You can't with this. And when you make a sewing mistake on vinyl, it leaves a hole. See, it's not like you can rip that back out to sew it again. No, there's a hole. Everybody knows you fucked up. So, yeah. Anyhow, I did these. It was an adventure in cursing, is what it was. Right. My other finish, because like I said, I have two, is a cross stitch finish. Because you see, sampler September. And so I was focusing on September's Revenge by Maximum Cross Stitch, and I finished it. Oh, doesn't that look good? This is on 40 count Tephra by Cedar River Linen and Design, and it is using all of the Roxy Flossco flosses, and I loved stitching this piece. I love the Earth Winds. I love the Earth Winds. I love it in my Doomsday movies. The Earth Winds. I love those movies where the Earth wins, because the Earth wins. Love it. Anyhow, when I was doing this, I did all of the outside and all the vines. I did everything but the house. Every single thing but the house. And then I took a picture of it and put it on my Instagram. And I just thought it looked neat because it was cool looking. And the designer, she commented. Like, she's probably commenting on everybody who does her designs. But she commented on mine too. So I got to feel special. And then Caroline from Evertote, who did this collaboration, she also commented, and she was like, I just can't stop looking at the bones. And that made me feel good, because I wasn't the only one going, that looks really cool. And I like it when other people go, oh, that looks really cool. And it was just really neat to see the entire thing without the house, everything but the house. And then I did the house, and it's very, very pretty. And I know I'd commented, I think on here, or maybe not, maybe it was just in my head, but I have great conversations there as well. I commented that I was going to change the color of the door from what was originally charted. And then I was stitching, and I did more. And then I was getting to the door, and I was like, well, what color is charted? It's a pretty color. And it's called Earl Grey. Well, god damn it, now I can't change the color. The color of the door is Earl Grey. I'm a tea lover. I drink Earl Grey all the time. I buy it in a pound quantity and drink it within a year. I like Earl Grey. It is my favorite. It's my standby. It is my everyday. I love a good London Fog. Oh, those are good too. And Earl Grey. So of course I had to leave the door the same color. I was totally going to change it too. But no, not once I found out it was called Earl Grey. Oh, no. So my door is the called for. And I love it. I just love it. Now, in person, you can see the letters better than you can on the camera. That is actually the reason why I went with the tephra. The original color that I had pulled for this project, I don't remember what it was now, but you couldn't see the color for the letters. It just disappeared into the fabric. And I don't mind having a bit of ghosting on my letters, but on this one I definitely wanted them to stand out. And on here it doesn't, but in person it does. And I love the S. The S in the flower over here is so sweet. I love that the eye is hiding behind this one. The purples and the blues too, so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love these blues. It was Deja Blue and Great Lakes, and oh, I need to do an entire, I was going to say monochrome, but if you're using two, I guess it would be a bichrome. I need to do a bichrome project in just those colors because, oh, they made my heart sing. Made my heart sing. And these purples are good too. Love a good purple. DMC does not have good purples. Roxy has good purples. Anyhow, love it. And I think I'm going to have to get Maximum Cross Stitch. I think I'm going to have to get their Pumpkin Thief chart because it's a play on the Strawberry Thief from William Morris, and at least that's what it looks like to me. I don't know if it actually is, but that's totally what it looks like to me, and I love that, and so I really think I need to get that and do that. Maybe that'll be one of my ones for next year. Anyhow, loving that. And it's finished. Polish the halo. I finished my Sampler September sampler in September. Halo, polish that halo. All right, so there's that. Then I pulled out this project bag, which is by Pinky Promises, and it is the Modern Folk Embroidery Nomarie tapestry piece, and I've been working on this one. I have crazy dreams of actually finishing it this month, which may not be crazy. They may not. So we put it on here. I've been working on this a lot. This is where I'm at. Oh, look at it. Oh, stunning. Stunning, if I do say so myself. Love. So when we were here last time, I had the border for all of this bottom box. I had all the border put in, and I just barely started this little Celtic knotty thing. I have done all of that Celtic knot, all of that Celtic knot, and almost all of the text, which is in Elvish. So good. I just have this last line to do. Now, I have put in enough stitches for this text to have the text finish at least twice over, because this weekend I was stitching on this and ripping it out and stitching and ripping and stitching and ripping because I decided that this would be my pinwhist piece. I went to Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit this past weekend. I did the Zoom group part of it, and I was stitching on this. I was stitching on the wording. Don't do that. Don't do that if you're expecting to talk or listen or think or do anything, because none of it was put in right. So I had to rip it out, and then I put it in, and then I rip it out, and then I put it out, in, out, in, out, in. It was ridiculous. Right. I just hope, because I wasn't able to reuse all of the thread because I kept ripping it out. I hope I have enough thread still. Let's just say that. I so good. So good. And I'm still working on this because I think I still might be able to finish it. I might be able to finish it this winter. No, not week. Month. That would be the time frame I am talking about here, people. The month. I think I can still finish that this month. It is the 19th, so it is getting on towards the end of the month. But I think I might be able to. Oh, and I am loving this piece so much. And yes, as a horrible bend right there because of how I have it in my Q-snap. It'll iron out. It'll block out. It'll all block out. It's fine. But I am loving this piece so much. Oh, this one is done on Arboreal by 40 Count Arboreal by Cedar River. Oh, both my pieces were done on Cedar River. And both were done with Roxy Floss Co. This is being done with Mollusk, is the color I am using for the Roxy Floss Co. And I am loving it. Absolutely loving it. I could just sit here and stare at it all day. I think this might actually get framed quickly, and I may pay someone to frame it. Oh, I don't know. Oh, anyway, enough of that. Did you see my needle minder, though, before I go? Ah, fine. We'll take it off here, and we'll do it this way. Of course I had to have a Tolkien needle minder on here. Have you met me? Actually, you probably haven't. That would involve speaking to people. Why would I do that? People are scary. Yeah, if you know anything about me, I am a massive Tolkien fan. So, anyhow, want to finish this month. Think I still might be able to. If I'm capable of it, I'm going to put this in my luggage with me, and I am going to take it to the Modern Folk Embroidery Jacobpalooza event that's happening in London, Ontario. And I'm going to show it off because I am very proud of it. Ridiculously proud of it. Maybe I'll take my sampler that I finished last year too. That could be fun. We'll see. We'll see. Right. And I have one more thing I worked on. Living in my Bags by Awesome Granny is my Dunrobin sweater. And this is the sweater that I have been working on that is being done in the Donegal Tweed Aran in their lovely random numbers and letters colorway. It's just numbers and letters. When we were last here, I was working up the back, as is stated by of that happy little sloth stitch marker. I have since finished the back, put the shoulders together, finished one entire sleeve, and I'm now working on the second sleeve. And then all I'll have to do is the neck. I'm loving it. I am absolutely loving it. I'm really close to being done. Yes, I realize this arm looks teeny. It really looks short. But because it's such a huge drop shoulder, I mean, that seam goes halfway down my arm. So when it's on, it should be perfect. And then, just have to do the neck, which is all on the barber cord things so that I can do that later. There's some lovely neck shaping right here so that it's going to be nice, and it's going to have this nice stand-up collar kind of neck thing. And I could move the stitch marker. I think I might have wished to make it just a tiny bit longer. That is the problem with bottom-up construction, is that you can't try it on exactly. You sort of can, but I think I would have made it like maybe an inch longer. So it'll be fine. Again, I'm just using this one as a pull it on, shove it over the face, shove it over the face. No, shove it over the head, going out for a walk kind of project. it's just going to be a nice, easy throw on to take a walk kind of sweater. So it'll always be on over stuff. So there, I have my Progress Keeper now sitting there, and I'm really loving it. I am really loving it. I have decided one thing though. Here's my bind off for the sleeve. And I think I've decided I'm either going to do a tubular or an Italian bind off for the neck. I want it to be nice and smooth up near the neck. I want the bind off to just whoop, disappear. And so I still have a sleeve and a neck to do before I get to that point. The sleeve shouldn't take long if I actually stitched on this, because I haven't been. I haven't been doing a lot of knitting. I've been doing a lot of stitching instead. It's September, it's fine. But I am itching to get this one done because I really, really, really want to start my Lopi sweater. So best get this one done before I do that. Again, it's a nice little cropped. It's not really cropped, but it's not long. It goes, I think it's going to go to about maybe the top of my hip bone. Iliac, no, that's not the iliac crest. That's something else. I don't know. I didn't take, I was going to say biology. No, anatomy is the word I was looking for. I didn't take anatomy. I don't know. I don't know what parts of my body are called. But yeah, it goes right to the top of my hip bone, I think, is where it will end when I have this all washed and blocked and beautiful. If I'm feeling really rambunctious, I might have this done the next time I come visit you. I don't know though. We will see. But I am loving it. And yes. Oh, I should tell you. These are being done on US size 9 5.5 millimeter needles, and I am using my Mindful needles. And then you go down a needle size for the ribbing. And right now this bottom ribbing just keeps flipping up all the time, but that will block out. Again, look at that color. I just love it. All the little flecks of different colors in it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I do have a work project that I have been working on at work, hence why it's called a work project, but I haven't been showing it on here because it will eventually become a gift, and on the off chance that the person who I'm gifting it to watches, I didn't want them to see it. So I do have, oh, this is living in this lovely little yarn bowl. There's my cake. And I have one more unused cake, and that will be the neck. Other than that, I won't have a lot left over on this one of leftover yarn, which is fantastic. Oh, love, absolute love. So that is all of my progress. Instead of knitting or doing more cross stitch, I was working on this sewing stuff, which y'all who can sew, y'all are awesome, because you do witchcraft and wizardry with machines, and it's beyond me, and my hat is off to you, because you cut something, you cut it wrong, you can't just fix it like you can in knitting. In knitting, you just rip it out if it doesn't fit, you start again, it's great. Sewing, you cut it. Well, now you're screwed because you cut the wrong size, which I did multiple times. You'd think I would have learned after the first time. No. 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 It's fine. It's fine. Originally, this was going to be the outside, but I cut it wrong twice. So then I didn't have enough fabric to do the outside, and I could only do the pocket. Yeah. Enough of that, right? So that is all of the progress and whips and finishes and all of that. I do have stash. Yes, I have stash. I have delightful stash. I'm excited about my stash. My stash makes me happy. Shall we get into the stash? Yes, we shall. I have my Roxy Floss Clo colors. and these are September's. And so there's going to be some crinkling because I forgot, yet again, to take them out of the bags. You'd think. I think I've remembered to do this once, to take them out of the bags before I talked about them. However, most of the time, I do not remember. So, I'm going to get this. We have Early Harvest, Yellow Delicious, which is a terrible apple, Fuji, okay apple, Off Topic, quite pretty blue, and I dropped the other one, Duotang, which is another pretty blue. Then we have Objective, ooh, that's bright, Granny Smith, another somewhat crappy apple, Sunny D, Pink Lady, and Subjective. Okay, I am seriously amused right now. Objective, subjective. And I was very subjective about my opinion on apples. But I'm biased. I live in Washington State. I've got some really good apples. Really good apples. Really, really good apples out here. So, I'm a little biased. In fact, this coming weekend, the guy's going to be going to I can't go to Leavenworth with him, sadly, because I have to take care of our diabetic cat. Didn't have anybody who could do it. So, the guy's going to be going to Leavenworth this weekend, and he's going to come home with a lot of delicious apples. And, oh, there was this one we got last year. So good. I wish I could remember the name, but it was delicious. Oh, so good. And it was none of these, I might add. None of those. Best thing to do. Go up, get your apples in September. Sometimes October, but yeah, delicious. Right from the stands on the side of the road with the giant things right outside the orchards that they have them in. Oh, it's the best, absolute best. Cannot get better. So there's that. I also, oh gosh, I don't remember who did these. Oh poo, I can't remember the name of the store that I bought these from. They were doing a Halloween themed thread pack. I want to say Mislaid Pages, but I'm not 100% sure. But I want to say that's that. But it is with the Cottage Garden threads, and I've never played with those. And it was Halloween based, and so I got them. So there is Ginger Lily, and I cannot wait to play with these. Ashes to Ashes, Putrid Purple, Anastasia, Guilt, as in gold, not as in Catholic, Black Ichor, Witchy Night. Oh, you can see the hint of purple in it. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to. I love this one. Swamp Water, which is a great color. Charred Pumpkin. And Ghost Sheet. I love those colors. I don't know what I'm going to do with them or when I'm going to do anything with them, but I've never played with Cottage Garden threads, but people keep talking about them, and I really wanted to, just hadn't had a reason to buy them. And then I want to say it's Mislaid Pages. Again, I'm not 1000% sure. I saw that they were doing a Halloween set, and I jumped on them because so cool. If I remember correctly, some of these are also limited editions, so I get to play with them, and they get to be in things, and I'm gonna have fun, and that's why we do this. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't fall off my desk. It's not a desk, it's a bin, but I'm trying to make sure it doesn't fall off my bin. Okay, what else did she buy? Well, technically 3 more things, but one of them only sort of counts. Sorry, technically 3 things, one of them sort of doesn't count. There, does, it doesn't. They're very different meanings. First, I have my Knit Spin Farm for the month. This is, what's it called? Anemones. 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 It's a hard word. These are even stripes of Tialia, which is orange, purple tip, giant green, and clownfish, clownfish, nestled under a thick stripe of shimmering sea. So those are going to be very bright and very colorful. I think, oh, I hate to do it, but I think I might not be continuing this next year. I don't know. I've got plans for my yarn, reorganizing it. We'll see. Anyway, this is beautiful, and I love the Targhee. Again, Targhee self-striping, you can't go wrong. You can't. And then, this one really counts. I should not have done this, but I did it. And I don't really even feel bad about it. I should, but I don't. So, it's almost October. And if you're a part of the knitting world, you know what that means. Yes, yes. The Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along is coming in October. It does every year. It's glorious. Last year, it was a knitting failure for me. I made a huge mistake and kept making the same mistake, and then I decided I didn't want to do it, and I ripped it all up. It's fine. Year before that, I finished it. It's living... Oh, I don't know where it's living. Oh, it's living in my bedroom on my shawl wall. It's living in my bedroom. I've knit several of his shawls because I like them, because they are huge and oversized. He is a very tall man. He's like 6'5" or something like that. I don't know. I actually don't know how tall he is, but he's over 6 foot. And he's a tall man, and so he builds shawls for himself. So they get the term schlanket, because they're big enough shawls that they might as well be a blanket, hence schlanket. And these are what Stephen West creates. He's a genius. Weird, strange, unusual, genius. It's wonderful. Don't always agree with his color placements or colors. He really likes toxic yellows. Not my thing. But beautiful, genius, whatever. So, the knitting world knows. It's the Mystery Knit-Along time. And I have never done one of his kits. Until now. I did the kit for this year. It's called Geogradient, is the name of his Mystery Knit-Along this year. And I already was planning on getting the pattern and then shopping through my stash that is not small to get the 4 skeins that I need for this year. And then I watched his video of all of his kits and I went, there's a couple I really like, but they sell out so fast. I'm never going to get them. Excuse me, hiccup. I'm never going to be able to get a kit, and that's fine. I won't even look. And then I looked. And yes, in fact, many of the kits were gone. A couple of the ones that I really liked were gone. But this one, which was one of the ones I really liked, was still there. And so I tripped and fell and bought it. And it comes in this lovely bag. Geogradient. It's all spacey. I've taken out the stickers and other stuff that was in here. Oh, it's the Outer Space Gradient. This is by Undercover Otter. And it is a merino yak silk. Oh, so beautiful. This one is called Bruce. This one is called Rose Downer. This one is Space Chicken. And this one is called Below. The only thing that would make this better if one was named Space Bat. Do you remember all those years ago where there was Space Bat? You might not. There was a bat. It was on like the space shuttle and it was probably dead. But there was a bat on the shuttle when it took off from the ground. Because where else would the space shuttle take off from? Anyhow, Space Bat. I remember Space Bat. Space Bat was a thing for my friends. So that's the only thing that would make this one better, is if one of these was called Space Bat. Ah, let me take it out of here. You cannot see the colors right. Eventide Fingering is the base name. Colorway Bruce. Yes, it was supposed to be a gradient this year. Rose Downer. Space Chicken. I love that name so much. And below. My hands are not big enough to do this. Let's try it anyway. Come here. There we go. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Ah, so good. So good, so good, so good. I'm excited. I mean, it's called the Geogradient. It's all space related. And then there's this one, which is total space theme. And I mean, how could I not do the thing? And I did the thing. I did the thing, people. I did the thing. Now, I know a lot of people kind of go, I'm not sure if I like it, and all that. It's a mystery, and you'll learn a lot. Even if you end up not finishing, you still learn a lot. All right, it's back in my thing. It's back in my bag. And yes, let me get rid of my other Leo and Roxy. No, not Leo and Roxy, just Roxy Floss, my other Roxy Floss bag. So yes, I am planning on doing the MCAL. Of course I am. Of course I am. Might be a little bit difficult for me this year since I am actually going to be going to Jacob Palooza for a weekend, but I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Now, reaching. Because the last thing, which I'm not exactly counting, because it's all the stuff that I got from going to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. Again, I did the Zoom portion, not the in-person portion, though I think I'm going to do the in-person portion next year. I'd already made that decision before they made the announcements of who was going to be in it, and I don't remember who they are right now, but I remember going, ooh, that'd be fun. And I'd already decided I was probably going to try and go to it next year. I'm not that far away, and I've never done it, and I've never really been to a retreat, so it'll be interesting. I am going to have been to one in-person one before I go to Stitch Summit next year, if I can get in, because I'm going to be going to Jacob Palooza. But I am nervous about that because I have to speak to people in human 3D flesh, and I'm bad at that. I hope you can't hear my robot vacuum, but he's a going around right now, as is my dryer. Gotta love chores. All right. So why are we talking about the Northwest Stitch Summit? Why? Because they sent a lot of stuff, and it was fun. So first things, I got a couple little books, little notebooks. This one says Acorns and Threads. Today's haul brought to you by Acorns and Threads, my favorite L&S. Beth Twist says that. Oh, that's pretty cute. It's a teeny tiny over one stitching picture. And then there's this one, which is another one of their designs. It probably goes that way. This was a make and take. So it says Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit. And this is a little scissor fob, or ring bling, or bag bling. It has my name on it. And some scissors. It has my name on it. That's me. Which I thought was cool. There was also some lovely Gloriana threads in browns. I don't know what their names are. They're just chunks of Gloriana. And you can never have too much silk thread. So awesome. Got a little waxer. I love waxers. This was in the bag. May peace abide. Within this house, may peace abide. And then there were the kits for there were two designers, and they had kits. So one was Satsuma Street, and the other was Ink Circles, and I don't remember their names. Tracy's Ink Circles, don't remember Satsuma Street's name. Lovely women both. Both of them are absolutely lovely women. The Zoom portion of the get-together was great. I couldn't go on the Friday, so I missed everybody opening everything up, and I missed the Smalls Exchange that they filmed. But they're going to send that out, the video of it out later, so I'll get to see what people did. And so I worked on Friday. I couldn't get there. So I did Saturday and Sunday, and it was delightful, and I had a lot of fun. And other than having to get off too early on Saturday because my neighbor started screaming obscenities, and I didn't feel like sharing that with everyone. It was a great weekend. Right, so let me show you the kits that we received. This is Satsuma Streets, and it is Turning Leaves. Oh, it's so pretty. And I've been warned by the designer and a few other people that this is not symmetrical. So, not symmetrical. Reminder, not symmetrical. Good to know. And here is the fabric, which is gorgeous, and the threads, and these are Cosmo threads, and I have never tried Cosmo threads before, so I'm excited about that. Isn't it lovely? It's just gorgeous. It's so pretty. And then Tracy from Ink Circles, woman after my own heart, she gave us tea. I mean, it's green tea. Very excited. Anyhow, green tea. And this is her kit. So it is the Forest for the Trees. Oh, and I just love those colors. Here's the delicious fabric. It's really pretty. It's Atypical Linen by Mystic Fabrics. It's a fabric I've never worked with. And got to show this off. I've just got to. Here is the thread ring that she did. So you have all your threads, you know what it's for. And then, look at this. Look at this. Do you see this? This is a teeny tiny ball filled with orts. Those are Tracy Horner's orts. I thought that was so fun. So yes, I've got a little ornament with Tracy Horner's orts in it, and it's cute. She said it was a fun idea, and then she had to do a whole bunch of them, and she started thinking, maybe this isn't such a fun idea, but she finished it, and it's cute. Absolutely adorable. I just throw my arts out, so I'm not that fancy. But I think it's cute, and it makes for a fun little ring bling decoration. And it's all classic. It's all classic colorworks? Yes, it's all classic colorworks. So, that's exciting. Those will both be fun. They are probably going to end up in my I'm going to start them next year pile. I'm still going to film that. Don't worry, people. Not that anybody's asking, but yes, I am still planning on filming that. I thought I bought some fabric, hand-dyed fabric, for one of my pieces, but it was a while ago, and I still haven't received it. And then I looked in my inbox, my email, and I couldn't find it. But I swear I bought it, but I couldn't find that I did. So I might not have. And originally I was waiting until that came so that I could show it, and now I'm thinking I didn't do it, so perhaps I should stop waiting, and maybe I'll film that later this week. We will see. So that is all the stash, which is enough, I think. Don't you? I think it is. Other than that, plans. I didn't do plans. Oh my goodness. My head. If it was, I'd lose it if it wasn't attached firmly. IQ of a goldfish, people. IQ of a goldfish. Right. Plans. What are my plans? Well, finish my Namarie tapestry and finish my Dunrobin sweater. There. Plans. Done. Easy. Maybe that's why I forgot them. They're very basic and easy, and that's okay. Let's get on to life. Well, you heard a lot of it because I went to the Northwest Stitch Summit and it was fantastic and very much enjoyed it. Want to try it in person next year. We'll see if I have the guts. Anyhow, that was one life thing. Second life thing, it's finally fall. I'm very happy. It's fantastic. The only thing I'm not liking about fall this year is an owl, I think. It's an owl. Or another I hunt at night from the sky critter has taken to a new dining spot. Now, this creature's new dining spot is a tree above my deck. Apologies for that. My memory card was full. It happens. Anyhow, every night, this creature, this flying hunter, has chosen a dining spot above my back deck. So every morning I am waking up to blood on my deck from his dinner or her dinner. Every morning for the last week. It's kind of gross. And there's blood on the leaves in the tree as well, because, you know, cat. So I'm like, well, maybe it's not that bad. Whatever. I wash it. It's all good. Last night I'm doing the dishes after dinner. There I am doing the dishes. It's all dark because it's getting dark early, and it's like after I've fed the cats, so it's after 8:30, and I'm doing the dishes. I'm just finishing up, and I hear these noises from outside. It's not the owl noise that I'm used to hearing, the hoot hooty hoo, because we have a couple owls. It's a screech noise. It's a very, I am a bird of prey, I am going to come and eat you noise. And it's right outside my window of my kitchen, which overlooks my deck. And then I hear another noise, which was not the bird. It was not the bird. It was the bird's dinner, and it made a terrible, terrible noise. And then I heard it go into the tree where it's been eating. I like nature and all. I don't want it on my deck. I just don't. I don't want my nature on my deck. I don't. It can stay in my backyard. It can stay in the trees beyond my creek. That's all fine. On my deck where I have to clean off the blood every morning. I really hope it finds a new place to nibble its dinner. Because, a little much. Other random life things. We finished building our greenhouse that we were building. We made this greenhouse. It's bigger than I anticipated, but that's fine. And we were thinking about what we want to grow and what we're going to do with it. And then we were like, oh, we could grow a couple things and then plant them in the yard and then harvest from the yard. And then we went, oh, wait, with where we live, there was an old smelter that was down the way. It's called the Osarco smelter. And it poisoned much of the town I live in. Because years of smelter doing smelter things. So arsenic poisoning is rampant in my town, in the soil. And so we decided to look up the Osarco information and what neighborhoods are bad. And we're in the you're gonna die if you eat anything from your yard level of Osarco poisoning. So we will take a couple samples from the yard and get them tested. There's some free testing in my town because of the Osarco smelter. And we will find just out how much arsenic is in our soil. And then can probably decide to container anything we grow, because then we can get outside soil that won't poison us with arsenic. Because I don't know about you, a lettuce and arsenic salad, doesn't sound very good. Lettuce and arsenic salad, some arsenic tomatoes, some arsenic potatoes. Yeah, I don't want to flavor everything I grow with arsenic. So we have a great greenhouse. Things may just live in the greenhouse. What? My hope of planting a new quince bush in this yard is right out the window now. My old house, I used to have a quince. And it was a very prolific quince, and I would make quince jam every year. I have a ton of quince jam still, but I would make it every year or every other year. And lots of quince is really fun. It's very delicious. It's a rare thing because it's a pain in the butt to deal with because it's rock hard. Anyway, quince, delicious, yummy, makes great jam. Thumbs up. Missing having quince bush because no longer have quince tree. No longer live in old house. Old house is the one with the quince. Was thinking, hey, plant quince here. Plant it far away from house because quince has daggers on it. Very spiky tree. Spiky bush. Very bad. Much pain gathering the quince. Many cuts. Many. Right, had to take care of something else, and now I'm back, and I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, right. Quince, bleeding, violent tree, violent bush, very, very evil bush. Delicious, delicious fruit if you cook it. Delicious, smelling very good, very good. But I wanted to plant one here because I'm missing my old one. Yeah, I can't. I don't want arsenic, so yeah, that's right out the window now. Sadly. Ah, well, you know, smelters, they're gonna smelt. Anyhow, what was I talking about? Oh, right, life. Yeah, I don't know if there's much else I need to say. I don't. I'm going to check one thing. I'm just going to be talking to myself I'm always talking to myself, but I'm just going to be talking to myself for a couple seconds because I need to figure out something really quick, and you just don't mind that I'm sitting here. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. I should be here again before I go to Jacobpalooza because I don't know what time is. So I don't know anything. So I should be here again before with a regular floss tube. Floss tube podcast thing, whatever this is that I do. I should be back again before I go to Jacobpalooza. It will be October, however, which is the epitome of spooky month. It is the glorious spooky time. And it's almost here. It's already decorative gourd season. If you know, you know the word I left out, though I have been swearing in this one, so I apologize if that upsets you. I'm sorry. I have a bad mouth. Yeah. So I will be back in 2 weeks before I go to Jacobpalooza, and then I'll be back after Jacobpalooza because, you know, that's how time works. Okay. We're doing fine today. Really, we are. I got that last bit, it just, now my brain is gone. That's how it goes. So, since I have become inarticulate, I think I will let you all go because there's nothing more going on in my life, really. Oh, the guy's going to Leavenworth, and I'm kind of missing the fact that I don't get to go to Leavenworth. It's not smoky there this summer, so I would actually be able to breathe there this trip. And so kind of sad that I'm not going, but diabetic cat. Is what it is. Hopefully I can go next year. We'll see. Other than that, yeah. I'm going to go, let you all get to all of your other videos. I'm so far behind on mine. I'm like a week and a half behind. I do not know how I can catch up. I'm going to try because I love living vicariously through all of your crafting. And yeah, so I'm going to need to try and do that. Just don't know how or when or anything. So we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. But I'm going to let you all get to all of those, and I will see you all again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for stopping by. I need another cup of tea. Bye all.